Welcome to FXStreet. If you like what we're talking about, you like the material we're going over, you want to be updated on a regular basis, please join us on YouTube. Head over, join our YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button. And if you like what Akash and I are talking about individually, you can follow us on Twitter, Akash at MountainGecko0 and myself at JustAnalysis1. Starting off today, looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's had a bit of a dip, not a huge surprise. It's something we've been looking at happening at some point here. Mostly, and I discussed this a little bit last week, talking about the gap in between the weekly Tenkan-sen is what we're looking at the weekly chart. Between the weekly Tenkan-sen and the bodies of the weekly candlesticks, there's still a huge gap. And one of the kind of anomalies that I don't know if it's anomalies or anomalous behavior, but one of the behaviors within the Ichimoku system is that gaps between the Tenkan-sen and the bodies of candlesticks, they don't last very long. They typically resolve over 4 to 6 periods. And this is definitely, we're in that fifth period where we should see that return to the Tenkan-sen occur. There's two ways that that equilibrium gets reestablished. The first is by price or time. Price or time. The first one is price, where price comes back to the Tenkan-sen, or by time, where prices trade sideways and then the Tenkan-sen moves up to it. 9 times out of 10, that's not a hard, there's no hard data on that, but just from personal experience, 9 times out of 10, because the Tenkan-sen it's kind of the volatility indicator of the Ichimoku system, you typically see price revert to it as opposed to it going to price. So that is what I see happening here. I can continue to see a bit of a dip lower here towards that 54,250 level. And then below that, we get to that 50K level, which is the Kijun-sen. And yeah, I think that, and there's a high volume node in there. The volume point of control is also within that range too. If I take a look here real quick, if I can get my charts to pull up here. Yeah, the Kijun-sen on the weekly chart is at 50K, and that is just above where the 2021 volume point of control is at 47,500. So that's where I see it going in the short term as far as the deeper lows. Otherwise, it'll bounce off of 54,250 at the Tenkan-sen. But I don't know what you see, Akash.
Yeah, I see something similar. Okay, not that similar. So I want to discuss this from a shorter time frame perspective, which is, so right now I'm looking at this particular range here, which extends from 58,135 to 67,162. And I was expecting Bitcoin to probably bounce off of this 4-hour demand zone here. Right, but it didn't happen. It went through that, and now I'm looking at this demand zone here, ranging from 56,000 to 58,500. So what I'm expecting is a short-term relief rally, which is already in place right now. It's already taking place. Retest of the 50 fib, and then the Monday lows, which is around 63,333. Before we actually establish a directional bias. Now, right now we're moving sideways. So that's what I'm looking at. But if we lose a 60K level here, as we've been kind of consolidating around this level for quite some time here. And if we do lose that, then I'm looking at, yeah, this is the same level I was talking about. I'm looking at these two levels here, which is 53,000 to 55,000. That's what I'm expecting Bitcoin to consolidate in a longer time frame perspective, which is a daily chart. But from a very short term perspective, I'm looking at a relief bounce with that retest the 50K, the 50 fib at 62,600, or the Monday lows at 62,333. That's my take from a technical perspective. Not a lot happening from an on-chain perspective. Let me just change this, keep this here. Yeah. So the only thing that is worth talking about right now is that Bitcoin is currently in this cluster, which ranges from 53,594 to 63,534. And the low of this particular cluster kind of aligns with what I was looking at from another perspective here, which is yeah, the peak of this rally here, which comes around 53,000. And yeah, so over the long-term time frame, if we lose 60K, then I'm expecting Bitcoin to consolidate between these two levels here, probably even reverse around here. But from a shorter term perspective, I'm looking at a bullish outlook for Bitcoin. That's my take, John.
All right. Thank you very much, Akash, and thank you everybody for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.